What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 20 of the War Room Podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and alongside me, we got my boy, Peaches. What's going on, Peaches? How are you?
What's up, girl? How you doing? You all right?
You know, Boo, I'm all right. I'm hanging out.
Jeez. I can get used to this, Bill's Mafia stuff, man. I'm loving it. I'm happy. We got the lead, and we didn't just stop, pound on the gas pedal.
Boy, let me tell you
what. On the brakes. What's going on here?
Were you, as an honorary Bills fan, were you nervous at all when Josh Allen got sacked?
No. No. I mean, the thought crossed my mind, like, oh, God.
That's all you need.
No, he got up. We're good. We're good.
It was an impressive showing. I'm hoping we're not the guy at the prom staring across the room at the girl that they really like, and the girl walks over and was like, "Hey, you're cute," and then all of a sudden it's just like, ugh, and then it's done. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
No, we got it all. No, we give her horses.
I hope so. If we win one playoff game, next week's show, I'll have no care in the world. Like, I won't have, like, that's all I wanted this year. I wanted one playoff game.
No, stop it.
We're taking this whole thing. I wanted.
We're taking the whole damn thing.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Stop one playoff garbage. Stop it. We're going for the whole thing.
Let's go. I love it. We'll see. Let's
go 1976 here and just go for the whole kit caboodle, huh? What do you think?
It would have been so much better if we were playing the Browns, though. Boy, those Pittsburgh Steelers, they really know how to. Whew. Those sons of bitches. The funny part is it's because Pittsburgh and Cleveland have such a hatred for each other. So you know that those two fan bases are going at it. And, Pittsburgh fans are basically like, yeah, we coughed in a box and sent it to you. Like, it's basically like what happened.
Totally agree.
I love it. But interesting couple of days. I mean, Black Monday, as they call it in the NFL, happened. I mean, some of the jobs, basically every job that we knew was going to happen. I mean, Adam Gase was probably shocked and did his crazy eyes again when he found out he was fired. But, I mean, it's good. I know that's something that we definitely want to jump in and talk about this week. But other than that, I mean, how are you living? Now your season's your original season's done. Are you okay?
What are you talking about? Doing great. Playoffs next week.
I know you're baptized as a Bills fan now, but you probably still have your allegiance to your false gods, the Raiders. Like, how are you okay?
Oh no, not even remotely close, at all. Nope. No. Actually, I'm at the point, and I'm being dead serious. This is not acting. I'm at the point where I'm looking at 2023, where it's the fifth year. And there are rumors out there that there's a fifth-year option on Gruden's contract. So I'm there.
Not bad.
Mark my words, we will never win a playoff game under John Gruden.
Ooh.
Never. So I'm there. But yeah, let's not. I was in a good mood, man. Let's not talk about that. Let's not.
Yeah. Since he's 5 years away. He's 5 years away.
Here's what I want to do. With it being Black Monday, I wanted to you and I just have a little chit-chat here. And let's go over the 6 vacancies, okay? So we have 6 head coaching vacancies now. One thing we were going to do, we were going to kind of go into free agents and where we think they're going to land, but we got some time on that, obviously. This is something that could start relatively quickly. Depending on when you're watching this, it could have already started. What I want to do is take the 6 head coaching vacancies and talk about what we would do if we were the GM of the team. What coach would we hire based upon the situation that they're in? And what we did is we sorted it by cap space. So the order we're going to go today is the Jaguars 1 all the way to the Falcons at 6. Jaguars obviously having the most cap space, the Falcons basically not being able to field the team next year. So we're going to kind of go about it that way and see where we stand and what we would do. And I just thought that would be fun. What do you think? You in? You got a couple?
I'm in. Just a quick reminder for those of you that aren't really paying attention. It's Jaguars, Jets, Chargers, Lions, Texans, Falcons. Those are the 6 open positions. But I'm in. I love this. I'm ready to go.
All right. So you want me to start? What do you want to do?
So Yeah, go ahead. So with the Jaguars, give us your breakdown. Give us the cap space. How about this? You do cap space projected for the Jaguars and give us your first pick for their head coach.
So this is where the Jaguars are interesting. I don't know if you saw the tweet that came out this week. Their owner Khan basically said that he makes all of the roster decisions.
I am captain now.
So yeah, yeah. That was funny. So honestly, I was all, in my opinion, I thought before that, I thought this was easily the most attractive job. Easily. No questions asked. You got some key pieces in place. All right. You got Trevor Lawrence, if you want him, which I don't know why you wouldn't, which means that you're going to get any coach that you want, essentially. And you have $77 million in cap space in a state that does not have basically, there's no income tax. This is the perfect spot. So only the Jaguars. Not true. This is something the Browns and Jets would do too, and the Raiders, but they're not an NFL team anymore. Basically, for the owner to come out and say he is going to still keep control of the roster, who wants that job as a GM? What's the point? What's the point? That's the whole point.
It's so sad too because like they have some really good young players on that squad. They drafted okay the past couple of years, and they have the money. Like you're gonna get the number one. You had the number one pick. You're gonna get the best quarterback that's considered a can't miss generational talent since like Andrew Luck, like that era.
Potentially better.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see. So with all that being said, let's hear who you got.
I'm going for this one. I want if the owner is going to be that way, I want a young offensive mind that's going to groom Trevor Lawrence. Okay? With that in mind, I'm going Joe Brady for the Jaguars. Okay? That's where I'm going with the Jaguars. I want him I love the idea of him working with Trevor Lawrence. Great offensive mind. It's going to be some stability on the offensive side of the ball. He needs to hire. This is one of two spots where I think Wade Phillips would make sense for the defensive coordinator spot. You have to really load up your coaching staff with guys that have been there before and utilize that offensive mind for Trevor Lawrence. That's a young, innovative way. And man, honestly, if Khan wants to sell tickets, that's the way to do it.
See, and I'm happy we started off like this so you and I can argue. Joe Brady is a guy I left off of my list because I just don't think he's ready yet.
The reason you surround him with people that have done it before.
Yeah, and I get that, but he's got such promise. The thing that I don't want to do with Brady is put him in a situation where he's going to absolutely fail. And this situation seems like it's one where it can absolutely just turn into a Lane Kiffin for those that are Raiders fans, that this could be a Lane Kiffin-esque where the owners walk in the hallways and go in and put in the projector on and drawing up plays that he wants Trevor Lawrence to do.
First off, it was an overhead projector. It was not just a projector. Okay, this was.
I just imagine him walking in, asking an intern to where's the outlet? Plug this in.
I don't see Khan, and I didn't know he was like this. I really didn't. I didn't know that, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't look at him as Jerry Jones and Al Davis.
It just makes me laugh. But do you remember those projectors? Not to change the subject, where you used to draw on them, and then it would be the light shining up through the mirror, and the mirror would shoot it on the wall.
I just corrected you. That's an overhead projector.
That's not an overhead. I thought overheads are coming like hanging down.
Yeah, the mirror that you're talking about is on the overhead. Why the hell are we talking about this? I'm a Bills fan now. Shut up. Keep going. So who do you pick then?
But I mean, my pick is kind of like a let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, big guy. You've been talked about as the coach of the future, the greatest coach coming out, the guy that everybody wants, the guy that I don't even believe calls the own plays. It's Eric Bieniemy. I think that he needs to be the guy here because all right, let's see it. You got a whole bunch of money. This is your show now. You don't have the Kool-Aid man like guiding you along the way. This is where you need to go. And my other reason why this is where I think he needs to go is because he cannot go to the Jets. for the simple fact that I just don't think his personality fits well in New York. So this is where I picked Eric Bieniemy, where it's like, okay, let's see it. Like if you're the guru that's calling plays, this is it. You have the money to build your team. You could build exactly what you built at Kansas City. But the problem is that's where it gets tough. Is he can't build the team because he has to go ask Daddy for money to go pay for the players. So it's going to be interesting. It's such a weird situation.
I agree. I could take that. I have him somewhere else, but that's fair. For what it's worth, I had mentioned that there are two coaches that I think would be wise to bring in somebody like Wade Phillips, and I think that Bieniemy is the other one. I think you need an experienced defensive coordinator that can change things quickly, pretty much with anything that you give him, because the offense is going to be great with the two of them. Brady and Bieniemy are going to put together a good offense. So that's the other one there. So let's move over to the prized possession, the NFL team of all NFL teams, the historic New York/New Jersey Jets. Jets. You go first.
Thank you for the correction there. So for the New Jersey Jets, it's not completely out of left field. So I don't think you'll think it is. It's a guy that I feel, and the reason why I pick him as the coach and think he would be a great situation is I believe that Sam Darnold should stay. And I'm saying that because he got Adam Gase as his coach. Like, let's be honest, people. Like, he's the third overall pick. His offensive line is full of backups that became starters because they had to. Like, let's figure this out. But he's also seeing ghosts, and the best person that's going to stop him from seeing ghosts is Pep Hamilton. So
I like that. I like that.
I picked Pep because Pep hasn't really got a fair shake at being a head coach. People say, well, was he ever a head coach? Yes, he was. He was a head coach of the DC Defenders, which the DC Defenders, if you remember, had your boy as the starting quarterback after Jones got benched. So I just think he's a great quarterback coach. I think he's a great mind. I think he's a great offensive personality, and he has enough connections in the league that he can bring in the right people around him. He's been an assistant coach for basically his entire life. His most recent job, which people don't really realize it until they finally hear it, it's like, he was the quarterback's coach at the Chargers, right? You know who had a pretty damn good season? So it just makes sense to me. They got the cap space, they got the money, they're not afraid to spend it. They got some pieces and players coming back off of opting out this year. I think he's just a good calming voice there. Do I think the Jets will do that? No. I think the Jets are going to take a swing and, I don't know, sign a 14-year-old who plays flag football just because that's what the Jets are known for. But that's
I hope Urban Meyer doesn't happen.
Oh, God. Go to Jacksonville. Urban Meyer, that'll be perfect.
I love Pep Hamilton. That's a great one. That's very good. I kind of went a similar way. I agree with everything that you said perfectly. So there won't be any arguing in this because I know that you're going to love the person that I pick also for reasons that we'll get to in a second. I also think Darnold should stay right now. You're not paying a ton. You got not proven, but you got an experienced quarterback there. He has the tools. He was in a shit situation, man, a really bad situation. You're starting to build a line now. I understand the line was a bunch of backups. You're starting to build it. You have the number 2 pick. You can trade that away for a haul. They should be the biggest fans in the world of what Justin Fields did the other day. Oh, by the way, proving us completely wrong because I'm totally out. I'm sorry about the Kyle Wilson thing. You're an idiot for the Trask thing. Fields is that was a ridiculous performance, and I apologize. But the Jets should have enjoyed that more than anyone because of the fact that that pick is going to be worth a ton. You can pull an RG3 trade if you want for that one. Build around him, get some more linemen, give him the weapons. With that, he does have some flaws. The whole seeing ghost thing. I want someone that was once in his shoes, okay, in a similar situation. I'm going with Byron Leftwich.
There it is. I like that.
He's been all over the place with Bruce Arians. He's going to let Darnold rip the ball, man. He's going to let him rip the ball. He's been in the league for a long time in different positions, playing too. He's going to be able to build a solid coaching staff around him with the Arians tree. I'm all in for that. I think he has the personality to handle New Jersey and our pork roll and stuff out here. But man, I just love it. I think that's the best way of going about it. You got $63 million. You're going to have a boatload of picks because don't forget about the Jamal Adams trade too. They are in a much better position than people think. And
Yeah.
Joe Douglas is a phenomenal GM, and I don't care what anybody says. So I think the Jets are in a very, very good spot. I'm going Byron Leftwich, but I totally agree. Pep Hamilton is awesome too.
Wow, we both went way away from the norm of what the Jets are actually doing. But
No. They're going to trade Darnold for a
seventh rounder.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like the seventh overall. But no, I love that pick. I think Byron Leftwich is no one's talking about him, and that's the part that's annoying to me right now. Is Tom Brady was great, Tom Brady was good, Tom Brady did everything for him, but he's still a great coach. Like the only thing I heard about Leftwich recently is Marshall now has a head coaching job opening, and they're like Byron Leftwich is their guy. If I'm Byron Leftwich, I'm like, love you guys, you're my alma mater, but I'm going to go for a pro gig. But
yeah, Marshall should totally just sign McConaughey and call it a day.
Oh my God, yeah.
Run the veer.
Huge pick by you. Love it.
So on to the Chargers. You ready to cry?
I think we're both in agreement. So fuck it, go for it.
Man, after what we've seen from Josh Allen, it's Dabble, man.
It is, and
it's perfect. That is literally the perfect. That to me was the. I'll be honest. When I wrote these 6 teams down, I literally wrote Chargers and then his name.
Oh yeah, I didn't even write a name next to the Chargers because it makes the most sense. It's a proven quarterback. He's a fantastic offensive mind. They got money. He doesn't have to work. Like, he can hire an experienced defensive coordinator, but his defense is sick. I mean, the defense played terrible, but you got to remember they're going to get what's his name back, Jones on the safety routes. They're going to get your 2 defensive ends are still there. Like they're going to be filthy. They're going to be filthy.
Ingram's a free agent, isn't he?
He's coming back. There's no way he's going to go. He
know.
loves it out there, unless Jacksonville goes out there and throws billions of dollars at him. But
it's the perfect situation for me. I mean, I don't even think we even have to really talk about it. I mean, that's Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, done. It's literally it's the absolute perfect situation.
Yeah, for sure. And with 22 mil in cap, I mean, they can make the pieces he can get. So Dable likes to run motion a ton. So he needs a speedy wide receiver that just is always in motion. So they can go out there and get that. And they already have the 2 big wide receivers on the end. They have a tight end, which we don't even have in Buffalo, really. I mean, the running game is non-existent in Buffalo.
You know, Hunter Henry is also a free agent.
Is he really?
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they'll have enough money to do what they can. And plus, the players will see him. And, I mean, everybody on Buffalo, every time there's an interview, all the offensive players say, like, what do you think of Brian Daboll getting a head coaching job? They say next question. They're like, we don't want to talk about him because we don't want anybody to take him. So he's loved by everybody. It sucks, but that's where he's going
to be. I have to stop calling him Dabble. I don't know why I always call him Dabble.
That's all right.
I got to stop that. That's annoying.
That's all right.
But yeah, very, very easy layup.
Yep. Now here comes the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Woo! The Detroit Lions. I'll be honest. I don't care. They're such a mess. I don't care. $6 million in cap. Like, I was trying to think of, like, what could you do? They just had a defensive-minded head coach. Their defense was atrocious. They've had offensive-minded coaches in the past. Their offense was atrocious. So I was like, you know what? What's the most vanilla thing that I could do? And I was like, Marvin Lewis. That's perfect. I was like, perfect. The most vanilla team, the team that, like, everybody every year is like, they're going to be great. I'm like, perfect. He can be there for 48 more years.
Can you pick? No. You are the GM. Who are you signing? Not what you're
signing as GM.
If this whole project was to pick who we think they're going to do, I wouldn't pick Byron Leftwich for the Jets. That's not going to happen.
If I'm the GM, I'm resigning.
No, who? Give us a name. What would you do in the situation? I'm putting you on the spot here. No time for you to think about it. What do you do? I'll go first. Because I actually did this, the right way. I'm looking at what the Lions did. Patricia did a horrible job, and I'm not going to lie to you. I really liked him coming out of New England, and I was really wrong about that again. Here's the scenario. I am very anti-defensive-minded head coaches. The reason being, and I think I've talked about it before, when you have a defensive-minded head coach, your offensive coordinator position sometimes turns into a coaching carousel.
Yep.
Which means that, if my offensive coordinator does his job, he gets a head coaching job somewhere. My quarterback, the most important position on the field, now has another playbook to learn. I don't like that. I'm very anti that. However, this situation you're in now, okay, I have a proposal, and this will never happen, but this is what I would do. I'm going Robert Saleh, okay? Another name I'm probably getting wrong. Defensive coordinator from the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's why. One, they spent a lot of money on the defensive side of the ball and a lot of assets too. You got Trey Flowers, you got Jamie Collins, you put a high pick in Okuda. You have pieces, all right? I'm going Saleh. He's going to energize those guys, do his thing, fine. Now, I'm working with Matt Stafford to find the offensive coordinator. Think of it this way. Your offensive coordinator is going to be there for 3 to 5 years, okay, if he does his job, maybe less. That's how long Stafford has left, essentially, with the injuries he's had.
Yep.
So I'm saying a lot of people are talking, trade him, whatever. Hold on. If you're confident as a coach that you can turn this thing around, you don't have a lot of money, okay? And honestly, trading Stafford, okay, fine, but, you could still win now, okay? I'm going with Stafford, and I'm working with Stafford. Hey, what is the offense that you want to run, that you are the most confident you will play your best ball in? And then I will then hire that person to run my offense completely. And I'm taking advantage of the best years that Stafford has left because that guy deserves it. That dude deserves everything. So that's what I'm doing. I'm giving this, these contracts a shot because there's not a lot of outs in these contracts. I'm giving him one more shot under a better coach. So I'm going Robert Saleh. That's what I'm doing.
I like it. I like it.
So what are you doing? Did you think about it?
I thought about it. I'm still sticking with my guns.
Jesus Christ.
The reason why it's simple. They're in such a bad situation where, and I don't mean it by cap space. Cap space, they got $6 million. So Stafford, I think he can still sling it and still play 3 to 5 years, like you were saying. Their defense, they spent a ton of money on. They were plagued by the injury bug like no other. I mean, they got hit with the injuries all year, like every team, so to say. But just continuing to think along that process, it's okay. If Stafford's going to be the guy there, who do you want? Who do you want as a coach for that particular team? I can understand, like, hey, working with him and getting it, but you also need to get a head coach in there that's a completely different mindset of someone that's been there before. I hate retread head coaches. I hate it. I think it's terrible, and most of the times it fails, but you also need a calming environment in the Lions. Like, that's why it's so boring for me for the Lions. There's nothing appealing for me about the Lions. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. They have players. They have great players and so on and so forth, but nothing is appealing to me. So it's like, okay, that's why I picked Lewis. That's why I'm like, okay, he's the guy that's going to go in there, stabilize it, build it to where it needs to. And then when Stafford's gone, maybe you'll win a playoff game. Maybe you'll get in the playoffs. But when Stafford's gone and they start tanking again, you fire him and get the next best thing. That's just my area with them because they're just a mess. They're a mess. But now it's up to me to talk about first those Houston Texans. So Houston Texans are in a great scenario where if negatives were good, like they're looking good with negative $20 million in cap space. So very positive on their end. But the thing that I'm excited about and would love this to happen but will never happen is they have all the pieces still. They can get a top-end wide receiver because this draft is a seriously deep wide receiver draft. They have good pieces, and you still have Watson. So my pick for this position, Arthur Smith. So I have Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator out of Tennessee, being their head coach. Reason why is look what Smith did with Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is a wide receiver converted into a quarterback whose career was over and became fantastic. He climbed the rankings at Tennessee from basically like a GA almost all the way up to an offensive coordinator. I think he's going to build the team smart around what Houston has right now, where Houston has basically a running back that they traded away one of the best wide receivers for. So you're going to run the ball, you're going to figure out how to run the ball, and they do a great job with that in Tennessee already with Derrick Henry. completely different running style, so I'm not comparing that. But I think that's what the Texans need in order to get to the next step and back to where they were.
So I love Arthur Smith. And this is something that Joe Marino talks about all the time on the Draft Dudes, and I totally agree with him on this. I love Arthur Smith in Tennessee because you look at what he's done with Tannehill, I agree. Tannehill is a completely different quarterback. But at the same time, man, look at the weapons he has. And, like, okay, you run a power running game, you have Derrick Henry. I mean, my God. I mean, it's literally – and I'm not saying that's a negative of his, but you can't ask him to find anything better than what he's doing now anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other Derrick Henry out there. You know what I mean? It's not like – it's tough, man. They have some giant wide receivers out there that just they're strong as hell. You can't find these guys anywhere else. So that's tough for me. I love Arthur Smith, but I think he has to stay where he is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Who do you got?
This is where I went with Bieniemy. I love the Bieniemy-Deshaun combination. I love that. It's kind of sad if you think about where they are. Because something else that nobody talks about, the Texans, man, not only are they 20 mil in the cap, in the hole, they don't have picks. They're gone. So the sad part is, man, it's Bieniemy, but you got to trade JJ.
I knew that's where you were going, and that's super
depressing. It sucks, man, because he has done so much for that community. That's going to be a heartbreaking thing. Maybe you don't even you have to trade him because you have no draft picks, but like that could even be a scenario where you cut him. There's no dead cap. It's like 17 mil you save. Brandon Cooks, you save like 12 mil. And there you go. Now you're at least in where the Lions are. It sucks to say it, but
that's another sad one too. Brandon Cooks. What has he done to get cut and traded from so many teams? Does he have pictures of like why does he keep getting traded?
Dude, he is one concussion away from being like gone. He's had like literally like 12 concussions.
He's just got so much talent though, man.
He does, but ugh. It's 12 mil, man. I mean, you can't like that one doesn't bother me, but trading JJ, like you got to do it. You got
to cut him. You got to cut him. If you have respect for him, you got to cut him. Just cut him and let him sign where he needs to at this point. They don't have any
picks, though. Somebody will give up a 1 for him.
No.
Yeah, they would. Absolutely.
No chance.
Absolutely, they would. 100%. Gruden.
You know what?
Gruden.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville will give up the first overall. You're right. No, I take that back. My apologies.
I think somebody would trade a first. No. They absolutely would, and Gruden would. I'm not saying I want that, but he would. There are teams out there that would trade a 1 for J.J. Watt.
All right. If you say so. I don't believe so.
Just saying. Throwing it out there.
All right.
But, yeah, I'm going Bieniemy because I love the whole Bieniemy-Deshaun combo. Perfect for me.
Well, let's round it out. Hit us with the last one.
This one I've changed my mind on 30 times. This one's tough because if you look, I don't know how the hell they can get on top of the cap next year. Like, their contracts are horrible. We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, by the way. I don't know how to do it. Like, I just don't know. It's really bad. They have the 4th pick in the draft. So what I'm going to propose is Pete Carmichael, offensive coordinator, New Orleans Saints. Work with Ryan, and man, honestly, I'm probably going Trey Lance at 4, maybe Kyle Wilson if he's still there. That's what I'm doing. Work with him. Another one I honestly thought about, and I know this with you saying what you said about retread coaches, but in this situation, this is the only time where I could see that it would make sense. Jim Caldwell was another one I thought of.
Oh.
The reason being, man, there is no possible way that you can, with a straight face, say next year is our year if you're the Falcons. It's not possible.
No, no chance.
It's not possible. Man, coast, honestly, kind of just get a GM in there that can get your cap under control and build it right. Just build it right. And then right now, all you can do is just take advantage of Matt Ryan and Julio. And then Arthur Blank came out today and said that they could both be traded. So I don't know. If I'm them, I'm keeping the two of them. Your receiving core is filthy. Try to find a way to get under the salary cap. Try to make the offense as good as possible. Do what you can with the defense. I don't know how, but man, that's a tough one. So I'm going Pete Carmichael with Jim or Jim Caldwell. Either one. I'm fine with either one.
Which I think you hit the nail on the head for me, which made me go which route I did with. They got to figure out the defense. The offense is going to be what they're going to be. And the best person to mastermind that defense and figure out that defense is who everybody is claiming is the greatest defensive coordinator right now available for a head coaching job, and that's Robert Saleh. That's the guy who I put in Atlanta, where it's like, okay, you know what? Let him hire somebody to take care of the offense and just do what they got to do. He needs to fix that defense in the worst way. And it's going to be a pretty, like you said, it's an impossible job to figure it out with the cap the way it is and what they're looking at and where they're sitting. It's just, all these, like, that's what's interesting to me is I would love to hear, I know some coaches are taking jobs because they want to be head coaches, but what's your reason why you want to take Atlanta? I mean, Matt Ryan's not new and upcoming. He's not like, let's do a reversal. If the Chargers were in the situation that Atlanta's in, the Chargers job is still appealing because you have a young quarterback, young core players. You don't have much cap space, but still, I just don't see it with Atlanta. And Atlanta, the way in which I feel that they're going to get better is I always feel teams get better when you build around your defense first, fix your defense first, then your offense will come. Their offense is there. Like, they can put up points, but their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So that's why I went Robert Saleh.
I feel like every year we have a team that the ownership just says, all right, this year, burn it to the ground. And, you just get rid of everyone. You know what I mean? Like, are they that team this year? And set yourself up for 2022?
They should be.
Because you got rid of your GM. You got rid of your head coach.
He's too proud of an owner.
Huh?
He's too proud of an owner. He won't do it. He won't burn it to the ground. But they should. I mean, it's
look at that. Seriously, pull it up and look at those contracts.
I did. The only thing that makes me laugh more than that is like just continuing to go back and look at the Eagles contract.
Well, no, but that's different. Like, what do you do here? You don't have a GM. You don't have your head coach. Is this the year? And honestly, that would be the most attractive thing to a GM. Hey, build it, rebuild it. I'm giving you X amount of years. Rebuild it.
That's the thing is everybody always says you're going to get X amount of years. They don't get those years.
They're getting paid for them. They're guaranteed contracts in the front office. Go for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or can you find a way to restructure these deals with Julio and Matt Ryan? And now all of a sudden, okay, now it's different. Now we have money to play with.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. I mean, there's some appealing contracts that can be traded to teams that need players. Like, I mean, Fowler's always an interesting trade candidate. But
I don't know, man.
It's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough. But I definitely think this was a fun exercise to figure out what's going to happen. And who knows? I mean, who knows where things are going to end up? The pieces got to fall soon. Like, in my eyes, there's got to be the GM always has to get hired first, and then they look to hire the head coach. The Texans hired their GM. Their head coach is going to fall soon. Like, some of these coaches got to sign quicker than others. I mean, I know people are waiting to interview with playoffs and whatnot going on right now, but at the same time, this year is completely different where coaches aren't flying to go meet with the coach, like the ownership group, because you can't because of COVID. So everybody's doing interviews via Skype and Zoom and whatever it is. So he's got to start falling soon.
If there is one NFL head coaching interview happening via Skype, I will officially eliminate that team as an NFL team. Nobody uses Skype anymore. Nobody uses Skype anymore.
Just use Facebook Messenger. That's how they got the enemy to interview.
Your lingo today has been horrible. You mentioned Skype. You say that you know what an overhead projector is and then say, hey, remember that thing where you project it onto the mirror and then it goes on the wall? Like, what are you doing? Are you all right?
I wrote all my notes down on graph paper. So that's basically where we're at. But that'll bring us to the end of this week.
Hold on. One more thing. I'm sorry. I wanted to officially invite everyone, now that the season is over for many teams, within a couple weeks, there's going to be a Marinelli family reunion in Las Vegas, and Joe Barry coming in to be the defensive coordinator. So that's more important than winning football games. So I just wanted to invite everybody to the Marinelli family reunion in a couple weeks. It'll be a lot of fun.
Evite coming out soon, but
and Mark Davis is going to have Hooters, basically, take care of the food portion of it. So yeah,
smart. That's good. Yeah. That's good work. But yeah, if you guys want the Evite, just make sure you follow us on our social channels at the War Room, _War Room 33 on Twitter and on Instagram. And
if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. Please talk to us a little bit. Give us some fun ideas. If you think we're onto something, think we're stupid, whatever, talk to us. Chat. We love to chat.
Yeah, for sure. And go Bills.
Bills Mafia.